Kids at Play and Mommy Tech. My name is Robin Raskin, and I'm the founder of both of these conferences, as well as Digital Health, Sports and Fitness, Transforming EDU, Mobile App Showdown, Last Gadget Standing, and I think Fashion Wear. And I don't say this to brag because I have this amazing team, but I say this because it's very relevant to what we're doing here today. And that's that my belief when we started this 6 years ago was that people were rather tired of just seeing products with no context. And products with no context do not make a business. You need an infrastructure, you need sales, you need legislation, you need regulation, you need champions, and you need cross-pollination. So it was our vision at Living in Digital Times that we brought people together once a year, and I like to think of CEA and the CES as sort of the China Silk Road. All year long, we each go on our little private journeys. But when you get to the bazaar, and if you read your history, when they got to the bazaar in history, that's where art flourished, math flourished, innovation flourished, and things happened because of trade, not just of goods, but trade of ideas. So I hope what you see today, and let's be honest, kids are not the forefront of the CES experience. We're over in the Venetian. We have a wonderful presence with lots of fun things, but it's our mission here to raise a generation of digital citizens that has the tools and people that have the understanding and can do well by raising this generation. So because I get to look at this wide swath of technology, I'm going to tell you what I think are the trends big time. And it doesn't matter whether you walk the show floor downstairs, the Venetian, whether you go to the Luxor, it really doesn't matter. There's no, probably other than curved TVs, which is fine, and there's really no new shoot me technology, this is the best thing I've ever seen here at the show this year. Because where you're seeing the innovation happen is that all the parts are ready to explode. And of course, the epicenter of that is the mobile device. And the mobile device, who knew? The average mobile device now has 7 to 12 sensors. And sensor technology, which has been around for a long time, like it was like the Heathkit technology. Sensor technology is now ever present in all our things. So you've got these sensors that can detect motion, emotion, gesture, voice, thought waves, stress levels, pulsometers. So think about that. You've got sensors, you've got a mobile device. You've got Bluetooth, low-powered, easy on the battery, lets devices communicate with each other. So think about it. So right now, my glasses are talking to my phone, and my computer, don't ask, it's a mess. And it's only going to get worse. But remember, as sensors and Bluetooth and mobile devices come together, yes, right now, I'm still the middle of the picture. Pretty soon, the human's not going to matter as much anymore. We did a robotics on the runway fashion show last night, where we actually showed robots in very moving real-life situations. And so much of it, and our Google car actually drove itself over here. It's over in the Venetian. When you're looking at the Google car and you're thinking about a driverless car, you're thinking about a bunch of sensors talking to each other, X that human right out of the equation. So as you walk through the show floor, start thinking about this Internet of Things as sensors, Bluetooth, wireless devices start talking to each other. And when they talk to each other, you combine that with geolocation and knowing where you are, and all of a sudden things get even more incredibly intense because, oh my goodness, her children are entering the home. I can see her from there. I can open the door remotely to let them in. I can, thank you, glass. No, thank you. So I can talk to the phone. So add that, add social media, and we know social media as parents and as children is both very terrifying and also very wonderful. And tomorrow, if you go to our Transforming Education conference, you will see what's happening as students collaborate, as educators collaborate, and as people become collaborators of their own of doing. Take all of that and add one last component, the cloud. And so what does that mean? It means we don't have to carry around big hard drives and big laptops, and we don't have to worry about our flash drives because everything is accessible from every device, anywhere, most of the time. So when you combine sensors, mobility, the cloud, geolocation, social media, you have got the recipe, and you'll see it over and over today. It doesn't matter if it's moms, if it's kids, if it's our Silver Summit, which is for boomers. As you see the confluence of these things, the opportunity for you to innovate is extraordinary and unparalleled. And with that, what I'd like to do is turn it over to my good friend and wonderful MC for the morning, and I'm going to just sit with him because it's fun, Warren Buckleitner. Warren is the founder of the Children's Technology Review. He also runs our Kids at Play Innovation Awards, which if you don't have a ticket to, see me. We'll get you a ticket for tomorrow evening. And Warren's going to make me play with him.
Sit down, Robin,
Oh.
and check out this heart. Yeah, I'd rather show rather than tell, but this is Human Body by Tiny Bop, so touch right there, tap a couple times.
Okay, so
Right there where the, well, now, will you relax? You're, there. See,
my
every
goodness,
time I
such a
make a little
bad kid.
dot, okay, those are little blood cells,
oh my gosh.
and you can track where you touched, and it goes right through the valve. So you can see those little cells right there? We'll send some through.
So they're different colored.
They're different colored, and you can kind of see what each valve does.
I'd like to play Pong with
You have the sound? You got to have the sound because it's cool.
Wait a
It's
minute.
so CES. And then now let's pick up the pace a little bit. This is you running from South Hall to
You
North
got
Hall.
it. You got it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
My heart.
this is what it's about right here.
Now, if I remember, there's more to this. Like, we go through other parts of the body, right?
There's a lot more, and it's completely driven. And this is one of 800 of the apps products that we considered one of the ones that won the Cappy Prize. And is Raul here?
He will be.
He will be. And so you're going to meet some of the people today who made some of these products. And a lot of what we do is we search for the cool stuff, and we certainly found it this year. So in terms of trends,
Oh my God, I'm like on now. Okay, I'll see you at 5.
isn't that cool? So we just finished our January issue, and we put, you see the Tiny Bop on the cover there. These are some of the mega trends. Rather than let you have a look at that, I'm going to zoom in on some tweetable chunks here. And so the past year has seen a dramatic increase in the number of commercial children's interactive products. I mean, so dramatic that the last year, the last 12 months, has seen the last 5 is equals the previous 5 years of growth. That's a lot of content coming, for better or for worse. And for better or for worse, it's controlled by one company, iOS and Apple. That's in terms of numbers of titles.
Wait, what was the quote? We were just talking about this morning. What was the quote?
Carrie said that, Carrie, you said it better than I did, but there's so many products for one platform. With Android, there's so many platforms for one.
For no products.
For some products. Well, that's actually not true, Robin, that Android's maturing, and as is Kindle, and this is good news for kids because there's a lot more content to choose from. Business agendas are still easy to find, but there's been some other good news in that there's better age gates and more obvious labeling. So the industry is getting smarter about how it deals with kids. There's still a lot of nasty practice. The debate about the appropriateness of technology with young children is not subsiding at all with the evidence of recent books by NAEYC and the Fisher-Price iPad seat, which we will not talk about at all today. No one is allowed to even mention it today. And I think it's fair to say, Robin, that children's interactivity remains foggy and confusing to most adults. So by the end of today, we'll take care of that.
No problem.
Right.
That's a good agenda.
So another thing that kind of came up this year, I think we should formally mark the death of the CD-ROM as a delivery vehicle. Everybody's used now to downloading content, and we're kind of there. That children's apps and, well, there it is, the Google Play and Amazon have continue to improve in quality, but only incrementally compared with Apple. Increasingly, if you have an Android tablet, it's some sort of curated library that some company behind it wants to bring you. So people are starting to see the hardware as a way to deliver the software. And that we also now know this year, and it's worth mentioning, that we have the PS4, we have the Xbox One, and we have the Nintendo Wii. We now know what the next 5 or so years of video game and living room entertainment will be. And it's a pretty wonderful place. And it kind of ties in with the big screens that are out there on the floor.
Okay, I'm going to do a check. How many people do have a CD-ROM on their device or a DVD player on their device that's here with them in the room? Oh, okay, all right.
You, sir,
we're
are in the
doing
wrong conference.
That
was the 1980s.
We're doing a check. How many people have video game consoles at home and still use them actively? I'm seeing a bunch of hands. And so, yeah, there is, this friction between tablets and where people are going to play and what's going to own the living room that we'll talk a bunch about today.
And we have a lot of panels coming up. It's going to come like an avalanche. So we'll address a lot of these questions throughout the day. This is sort of a closer look at Apple's dominance. And it's news because it's just so big. And by some rough statistical methods, we calculated that there are about 47,000 viable iOS apps targeting kids. And I know that a good way to sort of triangulate this is if you just type the word Montessori in the App Store. I know, Valerie, you're interested in that. You come up with a clean 500 at least 2 months ago. So there's 500 Montessori, coming on that keyword. So there's a lot of stuff.
Yep. 1,200 dinosaurs, for example.
Yeah. Also on the bottom of that slide, you see the hashtag for today. That's for David Kleeman and anyone else that wants to tag or get the word out beyond these doors. And quality is increasing. So we saw some incredible stuff this year, and it's really exciting. So there's a graph of in terms of the apps, and I talk with Apple to try to get as close bite of the numbers as possible. So that 47,000 is my statistical analysis. It's really rough because it's hard to define an app for a kid. So I actually looked at specific apps that were targeting children in doing that. Now there will be a ceremony tomorrow at 6:30 across the hall.
That's
right?
correct. It will be a combination Kids at Play Awards and fashion wear. Wearable technology.
And I'm only wearing the bottom part of my tux. Tomorrow this is exciting. This is exciting. I'm going to put on the top part of my tux tomorrow to celebrate the excellence of what the 14 jurors found. And so that's always something Robin and I really look forward to. That's called the Cappy Prizes. What else do we have there? And so there's our glance at today. It's going to be crazy. So I'm going to try my best to keep it going and that we have some play in the Kids at Play.
Right. Crazy.